What's up, spectators? Welcome back to the episode of Last Window. Last time we came down to the cafe after, we spoke to Rachel. I don't remember what she said. It wasn't particularly helpful besides the fact that we think the boss is lying. We came down and spoke to Sydney's daughter. You know what? Nothing really happened last time. The video was 25 minutes long, but we didn't really do anything of consequence. So, I'm gonna keep speaking to Sydney here to continue doing non-important things. If it isn't Mr. Hyde. If I remember correctly, you were keen on hearing about when this place was a hotel. Yeah, that's right. Well, I have one story that's a bit of a mystery, if that would interest you. It would indeed. You already know about the 4th floor being left as it was back then, don't you? Yeah, I already knew that. But did you know about room 406? Apparently this is an even bigger mystery. There's something about that room that sets it apart from the others up there. Only that room? Yes, just that one. According to the rumors, the room has never been used. Never been used? Why not? That's the mystery. I've heard lots of reasons, from ghosts to a leaky roof, but none are very convincing. There were plenty of baseless rumors flying around, but we never heard the truth. This carried on right up to the point the place closed down. Something that sets that room apart. That's the story. Did you find it interesting? Yeah, it's just the kind of thing I've been hoping to hear. I'm glad to be of service. That was a pretty lousy story, Sydney. You can do better than that. Something else I can help you with, Mr. Hyde. Sydney! Is something wrong? Well... Actually, it's nothing. Talking to him about what Claire asked me earlier is going to be harder than I thought. I'll hold fire for now and ask him later. Okay. Well, off I go. Because if you recall, I actually have a page. Somebody's coming out of Betty's room. See you. Bye. I know that voice. Why would Marie be visiting Betty in her room? Hey, Marie. What's going on? Mr. Hyde? There's nothing going on, really. Excuse me. Rude. Marie goes back into her own room. What did they get up to in Betty's room? Might be a good idea to find out. He is so nosy. He is so rude. This is why Kyle has no friends. Look at him using the buzzer, not knocking. Startling any dogs that might be inside. Hello, Mr. Hyde. What can I do for you? I happened to notice that Marie was here just now. Yeah, she only just left, actually. What does she want? Well, Mr. Hyde, why are you so keen on finding out things that don't concern you? I'm worried about her, that's why. Worried? Why? Because when I've talked to her, she's given me more than enough reason to be. So, are you taking a fancy to her then? I guess she told you all about the money, right? So, she came to you to discuss the money. I'm afraid I can't say. She swore me to secrecy. She told me explicitly not to breathe a word to anyone. And that includes you, Mr. Hyde. I see. And that's all I have to say. Goodbye. Betty returns to the confines of her room. Okay. Time to give Rachel a call. Red Crown, how may I help? It's me. I'll pass you over to Ed. Thanks. Hyde! I got some fresh info on the incident 13 years ago and Frank Raver. I called in a favor from an old friend, and this is what came back. Firstly, listen up, as this is important. It turns out that Frank Raver was not in charge of that case. When the incident occurred all those years ago, Frank Raver was away from the front line, pushing pencils at some desk. Desk work? Right. When he was young, he was one hell of a cop. He was among the best. But the force began to move with the times and his methods came under fire. Then, during his 40s, an internal investigation revealed certain things. That resulted in him being relegated from the front lines. So that's what happened. But what's Frank's connection to the victim? That's something I haven't got to the bottom of yet. Why would a retired detective who wasn't even in charge of this case be connected to the victim, and why is he investigating the incident now? I know, it smells fishy. Too fishy. It seems the incident went something like this. The party to commemorate the last day of the hotel was on the first floor. At some point during the festivities, Kathy, the owner's wife, disappeared. When she failed to reappear, the owner asked a member of staff to take a look around. It didn't take long before he discovered her body. It appeared that she died of cyanide poisoning from the wine she'd drunk. The cyanide was discovered in a bag laying next to the body. When the LAPD assessed the death, their initial reaction was to treat it as suicide. But after forensics revealed that her prints were not on the cyanide container, and her hugely expensive ring had been taken, the type of case was changed. Now they believed it was possible that she'd been murdered. The biggest problem they faced was that large numbers of guests had come and gone throughout the evening, making gathering statements difficult. Also, the bottle of Kathy's wine went missing. They couldn't find enough evidence for the case to be solved. So, was her body really found in 404, or was that just a rumor? No, that part seems to check out. I see. You know, that room is still in the exact state it was back then. You mean the crime scene's still there? Precisely. Ed, can I ask you something? Go ahead. When you were on the force, did you really not know Frank Raver? Are you serious? I've already told you I didn't. What are you trying to say? Nothing. Just my senses tingling again. I just want to double check that you and he weren't old acquaintances. As I told you before, I knew his name, but we never knew each other. Hyde, the man who had Frank removed from the front line, was my ex-boss. Hugh Speck? Yeah, him. Listen, I'll keep looking for more clues about Frank and the murder. I'll see what I can dig up on your Scarlet Star, too. That's all I got to say for now. Here's Rachel. And once again, everyone's doing my bidding. Hello, Kyle. About tomorrow. How are the plans going? How does 7 o'clock at Leonardo sound? Leonardo. Spending Christmas Eve at a nice Italian place isn't bad at all, if you ask me. Sounds good. I'll leave you to think of a present for Mila, and make sure you don't forget. Got it. Bo bo bo. Bow bow. Do ba loo loo. Who dat? Open that shit up. Betty? Can you spare a moment? I want to talk to you about something. This is strange. You wanting to talk to me, I mean. I'm full of surprises. But look at this place. Have you even started your moving preparations, Mr. Hyde? Do you even have a place to go? Save your worries for someone else. Now what do you got to say to me? It's about Marie. I'm listening. Please don't pull such a scary face. It's about what happened when she came to my room earlier. Didn't you already make it clear that you didn't want to talk about that? That was then. This is now. And well, I've thought it over and decided I'd better tell you. You don't mind, do you? Tell me what happened. Marie asked me to do something. She wanted me to buy a ring from her. The one that she blamed Tony for stealing just a few days ago. Seems she's in need of cash and resorted to selling her ring. Go on. She said I could have it for $500. A 3-carat diamond ring for $500. That's what I thought too. I said that the price she was asking was way lower than the value of the ring. But she insisted that as long as the money was in cash, the price was acceptable. So, I bought it. After reflecting on what had happened, though, I began to think, it doesn't make sense to sell something that cheaply, even if you needed the money. I even considered that the diamond in the ring could be a fake. I was wondering if you could take a look at it for me. He's a cop, not a jeweler. Do you think it's real, Mr. Hyde? I'm not a jeweler. You do know that, right? I wouldn't be able to tell a real diamond from a fake one if they were labeled. I was worried you might say that. What can I do? Go to a jeweler? Maybe I shouldn't have agreed to buy the thing after what she told me. What did she tell you? She told me the reason why she needed to get rid of it. Oh, what am I gonna do? If you can't help me, maybe Dylon can. Dylon might have a way of telling if it's a real diamond or not. Really? Why would he know? Why did Marie want to get rid of her ring? She said that she doesn't like the idea of keeping it any longer. Really? Why is that? She told me about the circumstances the ring was given to her under, and how she couldn't keep it any longer, knowing what she knew. What kind of circumstances were they? I thought you'd have been able to guess by now. I think she was trying to say that the guy who gave her the ring was no good. Maybe he bought it for another woman, or maybe he got it on the cheap. That's what I think anyway. That's the kind of reason a woman would get rid of a nice ring like this. I see. What makes you think Dylon will know if it's a real diamond? Well, one of his hobbies is collecting rare stones, for one. He knows these things. He was boasting once about having one of those special magnifying glasses, too. Oh, I see he's a real ladies' man. So why didn't you cut out the middleman and go straight to him at the beginning? Because I didn't want to spread this kind of stuff around, that's why. Dylon tends to keep a close eye on everyone. Closer than we'd all like. I really didn't want to break that the promise I made to Marie. What promise did you make to Marie? I promised her I wouldn't tell anyone about buying the ring from her. You promised her that? Well, it looks like you've broken it anyway. That's different. It's you, Mr. Hyde. I know I can trust you to keep this to yourself. You're not planning to tell Marie that I told you, are you? Maybe you should have made me promise you that at the start. Yeah, maybe I should have. Why did I have to buy it? Marie told me that she got it from her dead brother as a present. So this is the ring that Mike Porter gave her. Betty? What? Could you show me the ring? Would you mind if I borrowed the ring for a little while? Not at all. Go ahead. I received the ring from Betty. I'll leave it to you to find out whether the ring's genuine or not. Yeah, no sweat. Okay, well, see you later then. Betty leaves the room. Now, what am I gonna do? I suppose I could borrow Dylon's magnifying glass and take a look. Now I gotta go to his room, which, if I recall, is on the 4th floor. I'm really hoping that he just opens it for me. Not that it's difficult for me to look at my notes to see what his room is. Oh no, actually, sorry. He's on the 3rd floor. Okay, well, what is it? Meow! Okay. Who are we looking for again? I've already forgotten. I have so many names. Dylon. 304. Hello, Mr. Hyde. Have you got a moment? Sure, what can I help you with? Could you lend me your magnifying glass? My what? You know, the thing you use to check precious stones. I heard you got one. Well, you heard right. I got one, but why would you want to borrow it? I want to check out a crystal. What would you be doing with the crystal? You know me, I'm full of surprises and crystals. Let's just say I have a certain interests. A particular set of interests. Well, I must say, I had no idea. I've kept it to myself. I thought I'd mention it to you as I heard you're a fellow collector, you and I. That's right, I'm really into crystals. How did you get into it? It's a long story, you know, high school, there were cheerleaders, but I didn't care about them. I was too busy with my crystals. It began during my time in Manhattan. I had some time on my hands and decided to take a trip to the Natural History Museum. Really? Is it true what I heard about being able to touch the exhibits they have there? I'd give anything to take a trip there one day. You really know your stuff. Glad someone's finally noticed. Please come in. We can talk more inside. Sure. Would you like to see my crystal collection? Sure, why not? There are some on the shelves and others on the top of the table. Feel free to take a look. I don't want to take a look. Where? They're not here. Oh, they're over here. There's an open notebook on top of the table. Dylon has left a small magnifying glass on top of the notebook. This must be the magnifying glass Betty told me about. Hey, Dylon. What? That's a magnifying glass for examining crystals, right? This one's for examining jewels, but it'll give you some great close-ups of crystals too. It's something no enthusiast should be without. You should get one too, Mr. Hyde. Mine's great for up to 10 times magnification, so it's perfect for jewels. I see. Would you mind if I use this? Not at all. Go ahead. And feel free to take a closer look at some of my stuff too. Thanks. It's my phone. I better get that. Excuse me. Okay, I understand, but looks like this call is gonna drag on for a while. Maybe I could use this time to get familiar with that magnifying glass. You look through it. That's all you do. Yes? I take a look at Marie's ring through the magnifying glass. Closer. Closer. Too close. I can see something through the diamond. I can't be sure, but it looks as if there's something engraved to the ring. Huh? There's a design engraved onto the base of the ring. It looks like... I put the magnifying glass back on the table. The picture in this notebook, it's... Why would Dylon have the same design here as I found on the base of the ring? Mr. Hyde? How did you get on with the magnifying glass? No problem at all. It's great examining the tiny details on stones using this, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Have you ever thought that there's a tiny planet inside precious stones like these? A tiny planet? If you view the cut edges up close using the magnifying glass, you can see all kinds of grooves, valleys and caves. It's a spectacular sight. I don't think I'll ever tire of looking. Viewing crystals like this is much more interesting than looking at diamonds. I'm sure you'll feel the same. You got that right. Dylon, have you got a moment? What is it? What's that you've drawn in your notebook on the table? You mean a picture? It's a condor. A condor? That's right. A huge bird from the Andes that preys on animals. So why'd you draw a condor? No reason. I was just trying to recreate something I saw up on the 4th floor. What kind of picture did you see up there? One of the rooms up there has a picture of a condor on the wall. It was stuck in my mind and I thought I'd have a go at drawing it. Which room was it in? 406. Hey Dylon. Thanks for letting me take a look around in here. Glad you enjoyed yourself. Thanks again. I leave Dylon's room. Why would the hotel's condor symbol be engraved on Marie's ring? What does this symbol mean? Not only that, there was something on Frank's tape too. The state of the 4th floor is just as it was 13 years ago. My initial sweep of 404, where Kathy McGrath's body was found, is complete. Before vacating this building, I must find the lost items connected with Condor. That picture in room 406 has got me thinking. Well, it's been about 25 minutes, so I'd like to end this video here. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. So stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!